Good evening, San Antonio. We made it to the weekend, but with that, we made it to another day where we beat a record in San Antonio today before some cooler weather arrives this weekend. We're tracking a cold front moving through as we go throughout the weekend, and even by Monday, that cooler air is really going to be allowed to sit in areas of South Texas before a high pressure system returns to the forecast, giving us temperatures back into the 80s. But otherwise, on Monday, we're expecting temperatures not only in San Antonio, but throughout most of the country to be between 5 to even near 20 degrees below their average temperatures because of that cold front. And behind that cold front, we're also seeing some gusty winds. We're talking the possibility of 45 miles an hour for those wind gusts, and some dry conditions are going to bring that chance for some fire danger, either that very high or even extreme chances across Texas. So we'll continue to keep you posted. Record-breaking
The family of a woman killed in an attempted murder-suicide at this hotel says they know the suspect in this case. With an arrest made, their worries and their warning.
An apartment building went up in flames this afternoon. Dozens of people are displaced. Firefighters are making sure that it doesn't catch fire again. And we're getting a first-hand look at what this building looks like up close coming up.
Get ready for weather whiplash. We're going to go from the 80s down into the 30s. I'm going to time it all out for you, let you know when the front's going to arrive and help you prepare for it in just a bit.
Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to the Nightbeat. I'm Stefania Jimenez. Tonight, two daughters want you to remember their mother, not by how she died, but how she lived her life. This is 42-year-old Valine Thayas. She was killed earlier this week in what San Antonio police say was an attempted murder-suicide. Officers arrested someone in the case, but as the night team's Avery Everett shows us, her family still needs answers.
It's just crazy to me how he could just change an instant and take our mom from us when he knows that we needed her.
After 4 days, Ashlyn and Amber Thayas say all they can feel is shock.
Everybody around her, everyone that knew her, loved her.
Their mom, Valine Thayas, died on Monday in what San Antonio police called an attempted murder-suicide. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide, and SAPD arrested 50-year-old Jose Meza for her murder.
How did you hear about what happened?
I had been calling her all day and she wasn't answering.
They say she was staying in Meza's hotel. She says her mom had been dating him for nearly 2 years.
My whole family knew him. He would come to family gatherings.
SAPD says they responded to a call for attempted suicide on Monday afternoon at this downtown Best Western. Court records show another woman who identified as Meza's wife made the call. When officers arrived, she was already inside the room and holding him. He allegedly shot himself in the arm after cutting and killing Valine. Most of what we know about what happened at this hotel off South Laredo Street comes from an arrest affidavit for Meza. But Valine's daughters say that's not the full story. The affidavit says Valine was having an affair with Meza, but her daughters say he always told them he was divorced.
He was just very secretive. We didn't know anything about him. It's really hard. Every day is a struggle.
Now they're left clinging to memories of their mom.
We just have to keep moving forward. That's all we can do.
That's what she would want us to do. Keep going and not give up.
Jose Meza was taken to the hospital from his injuries on Monday in Bexar County custody. He has not yet been released on bond. That's currently set at $250,000. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News. This story reminds us that if you or someone you know is dealing with domestic violence, please know there's help out there. Scan this QR code on your screen. It'll direct you to a list of resources. The fire is out, but several people can't go home tonight. Part of an apartment complex on USA Boulevard near the medical center destroyed after a large fire this afternoon. Dozens of firefighters working to put out the flames for several hours. The night team Zaria Oates is now live at that scene where we're getting a closer look at the building that was on fire earlier. Zaria.
The San Antonio Fire Department says thankfully there were no injuries or serious injuries from this fire. We're now getting a closer look at the building, though. That is a complete and total loss. This is some of the damage down here that's come from the roof that collapsed down. this is still caution taped off. There's a do not enter sign on the door. And then you can also see some people's belongings here. There's books, there's clothes, there's socks. You can just see how much damage was done here. I actually spoke with a woman who was at home in a different building in this apartment complex when this fire started.
The flames were humongous.
Around 3 p.m. on Friday, flames engulfed an apartment building on USAA Boulevard on the northwest side. The San Antonio Fire Department says 16 apartment units were damaged and all are a total loss.
It was very scary for us, for the people behind it, because smoke was everywhere.
One person was treated for smoke inhalation but is expected to be okay. There were no serious injuries from this fire. Of those 16 apartment units, 9 of them were actively being rented. The department estimates around 20 people lived in this building before the fire.
So even the units behind us got infected. It smoked out our apartments. It was crazy. They're making us open up our windows to air it out because it was still smoking.
The Red Cross is stepping in to help the people who lost their apartment, but many, if not all of them, will have to rebuild from nothing.
We gave out water bottles, food, clothes. So if anybody has any children's clothes, I have a friend who has 3 kids. So if anybody has food, clothes, baby formula, it'll help.
Firefighters are still periodically checking in on this building to make sure that the fire doesn't reignite and that nothing else happens. But as you can see, it is a total loss. We do know that the fire began on an upstairs balcony. What we don't know is exactly what started that fire, and we're still working to learn those details. The San Antonio Fire Department estimates we'll get an answer on Monday. Live on the northwest side, Zaria Oates, KSAT 12 News.
Zaria, thank you. In other news tonight, KSAT is continuing to dig into a local connection to a national tragedy. Who can forget those images there, that plane that crashed while taking off over in Kentucky. At one point, that plane was being serviced right here in San Antonio by ST Engineering. The plane that was bound for Honolulu crashed back on Tuesday while it was taking off from Muhammad Ali International over in Louisville, Kentucky. The 3 crew members on board were killed, along with 11 others. Flight logs confirming that the plane, an MD-11, went through 6 weeks of service in San Antonio from mid-September to October, something that occurs every 2 years for a plane like that. A former chief inspector told KSAT that it's way too early to blame ST Engineering for what happened.
The checks are always the same. The guys there are good because they do the same job every time.
A spokesperson for ST Engineering described the work it does for UPS as airframe maintenance, and that the company will cooperate fully when the relevant authorities reach out. Okay, so now back from the Frontier Bowl, our Adam Caskey joins us now in the studio to get us ready for the weekend. And you mentioned something, my friend, about a 50-degree swing.
Oh,
say what?
Yeah, over about a 36-hour period. But yeah, we're going to feel it. And by the way, Frontier Bowl was awesome. Oh, the tailgating, the cooking.
The food.
The food, it was so good. Food, friends, music. Anyway, let's take a look. So today was a record-breaking day. Made it up to 89. We broke the old record by 1 degree. Tomorrow, pretty much the same, upper 80s. Then the bottom falls out. We'll talk about the cold front and how much colder it's going to get in just a bit.
Keep those jackets right where they are. Thank you. Are you flying out or waiting for someone to fly in? Because some flights over at the San Antonio International Airport, they are being affected because of the government shutdown. Now, it's not as bad here as it is in other parts of the country where the Federal Aviation Administration is reducing flights. But come on, you do know there is a domino effect at play here. 2 flights that were scheduled for this upcoming Sunday morning were canceled, both from American Airlines, one from Houston to here and another from here to Houston. The FAA is telling everybody to keep checking their airlines' websites to make sure that their flights are not affected. While we're talking about the government shutdown, the things that it's affecting, now's a really good time to roll up your sleeves. We want you to mark this on your calendars. On Monday, November 10th, KSAT Community and our partners, RBFCU and University Health, are teaming up with the San Antonio Food Bank and Meals on Wheels SA to help families affected by the government shutdown and also the suspension of SNAP benefits. So grab canned food, pet food, drop it off there at the Pin Stack location, the one that's off of 410. You could bring donations as early as 7 a.m. and anybody who donates will also receive a $5 game card from Pin Stack. Also, the Texas Eats team is going to be there all day collecting donations and greeting viewers while they're in line. And I'm going to be there too on Monday, so We're excited to see you there. Stay right where you are. Still ahead, Spurs fans supporting the home team at the Frost Bank Center. But now that we know that the team is eventually going to pack their bags for a new downtown arena, how fans in the stands are reacting to the future move. Also, Worst Fest. It's back in New Braunfels. How you can get in on the celebration of German culture and cuisine. We have all those details up next. You might be thinking about celebrating the weekend tomorrow, but nah. Up in New Braunfels, the weekend got started pretty early. It's Worst Fest. From now through November 16th, you can celebrate German culture, food, and lots of cold beer. Free to go Monday through Thursday, but it costs $20 to get in on Fridays and Sundays. Saturdays, it costs $30. Kids under 12 always get in for free. Meanwhile, over on the east side, the Spurs held their first home game since Tuesday's election that partially cleared the way for a new downtown Spurs arena. So tonight, thousands showed up to support the team, and we caught up with a few of them to see how they're feeling about seeing their favorite team possibly in the future at a new location.
I think it's fabulous for the Spurs to go downtown. However, how are they going to get all the cars in and out? The ingress and egress is what I'm a little concerned about.
I think right now the two, different sides will find a way to come together as a community, because that's what San Antonio is about, is what? Community, right? And they'll make it happen.
I love both of them. I love their reaction. Yeah, as of right now, the Spurs don't have a definite move-out date, so fans can expect a lot more games at the Frost Bank Center this season. So it's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so showing you out there, Adam is hyped. I got to tell you. Okay, live cam outside right now, 73 degrees. We're still going to have to deal with these high temperatures for a bit.
Yeah, it's just another day. Another day, then bam, the cold front hits on Sunday.
Bam, you said.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those where, it might wake you up just because of the wind. Gusts of 45 miles per hour in the pre-dawn hours on Sunday. So let's first start with your Saturday. Just like today, upper 80s, even hitting 90 in spots. More of the same. But then we get into Sunday, and we're pretty much just planned for 60s all day Sunday. The warmest we'll get is about 67. Low humidity, 6-7.
Watch
Kids.
out.
I was just at the high school football, at the Frontier Bowl, so I was around a lot of that earlier today. And low humidity and very windy. Notice what temperatures do. 80s to near 90 tomorrow, down into the low to mid 60s both Sunday and Monday. By the way, the record high tomorrow is 90. Polar vortex plunging southward, bringing the cold air for about 2.5 days, and then temperatures warm up again. But look what this means for Monday morning. Back to work, back to school, back to jacket weather. In the 30s, even in San Antonio, Monday and Tuesday mornings. Wouldn't surprise me if parts of the hill country had a brief light freeze Monday and or Tuesday mornings. The wind, that's a concern. Gusts 45 miles per hour on Sunday. Combine that with the very dry air and the lack of any humidity, and it increases our fire danger significantly. So it's one of those days you just want to use the extra precautions, especially disposing of cigarettes, and make sure trailer chains aren't creating sparks hitting the ground, just stuff like that. If there's a fire, it would spread very rapidly. So let's take you through here the next several days. And I mentioned the weekend, kind of a 50-50 split, near 90 tomorrow, only in the 60s on Sunday, and very windy. Sunshine throughout. We get into early next week, Monday and Tuesday morning. We're down in the 30s, so that's the coldest air yet this season on the way. Again, a brief light freeze, I think, is possible in parts of the hill country Monday, Tuesday. Then we rebound pretty quickly, and we're back to 80 degrees by Wednesday. We can't even make a cloud, unfortunately, nonetheless rain, Steph.
Why rain when there's so much going on right now? Okay, so we have the Spurs that beat the Rockets and our game of the week.
Yeah, our game of the week between the champion Chargers and Piper Warriors was for playoff seeding, because both will be in the playoffs starting next week. And this one turned out to be such a high-scoring game. It was a lot of fun. We got winning reaction. Plus, like Stephania said, the Spurs beat the Rockets. We got some highlights for you coming up. Bernie, champion at Piper, is our game of the week on this final Friday night in the regular season. And here's a look at the Warrior Coliseum on the campus of Piper High School, the site of our game of the week between Piper and Bernie champion. It's certainly one of the nicest stadiums in the area with beautiful views. And tonight was even more special for the Warriors because it was senior night. All right, folks, let's get to those highlights. First quarter, Warriors down 7-0 when they tie it up. Isaiah Gaithan goes play action, then hits Cash Lancaster in stride for a touchdown, and this game is tied at 7-all. The champion Chargers waste no time, though, in coming back and taking the lead. Ensuing kickoff, number 20, Caleb Farias fields the ball. He runs to his left, and the young man cuts back to his right. He avoids some Warriors there. And then it's time for him to find the end zone for a touchdown as the champion Chargers go up 14-7 after his 95-yard touchdown return. Later on, the visitors extend their lead. Julian Navarrete passes it to William Burgess. Dude just slips out of some would-be tacklers, and he scores to make a 21-7 Bernie champion. This game for playoff seeding turned out to be a high-scoring one that the champion Chargers won by a final of 51-44, holding off the Warriors.
Yes, sir. Well, we did what we were supposed to do. We came out here explosive. The second half we started off slow, but we did what we needed to do to finish this football game.
What were some of the keys to victory that Coach preached this week?
Sir?
What were some of the keys to victory Coach preached this week?
It can be done. It can be done. That's our motto. Prove it wrong. It can be done. And that's just what we live by, and that's what we needed to do. And we did what we needed to do and came and got a big, monumental win for the champion Chargers.
Get your popcorn ready for a District 28 6A contest between the Brennan Bears and the Warren Warriors at the Gus. First quarter, no score. Bears with the ball. QB Caden Glass throws, and it's intercepted by the Warriors' lucky number 13, Michael Martinez, and he returns the ball 29 yards before he's tackled down, but the Warriors were not able to score after that turnover. Bears ball again. Caden Glass goes play action. He steps up in the pocket and fires down the field to Jalen Kelly, who's behind the D, and that's a 63-yard touchdown as Brennan goes up 7-0, and Brennan rolls 49-0. Photog Sal getting a sweet shot of the moon tonight. Johnson was taking on Clark at Ferris Stadium. Third quarter action, Jags ball. The handoff goes to Rayshawn Hurt, and he hurts the defense with a 24-yard touchdown run, and Johnson leads at 28-10. Jags ball again after blocking a punt. Quarterback Elvis Estrada play action. Then he throws it to Braylon Allen for a 13-yard touchdown catch. But check out the spin move and then all the dancing he does to make it 35-10 Johnson. And the Jaguars win 42-30 to finish the regular season 10-0 and as district champs. Congratulations. Photog Luis also getting a cool shot of the moon tonight. This one was over at Southside ISD Stadium. No score in this one when the Cardinals go to the air, but junior defensive back Wallace Wellington is there for the interception. The Mustangs turn that turnover into points. Handoff goes to sophomore running back Brendan Oliver for the 10-yard score. Mustangs go on to win 37-6. All right, always a great turnout for the Frontier Bowl between Harlandale and Macomb, a rivalry game that always means something for these two schools. First quarter, Indians with the air attack. Unessa Sestu connects with a wide open Eli Herrera. That's a 62-yard touchdown for Harlandale. Cowboys running back Jeremiah Guerra breaks to his left, getting all the way down inside the red zone. The Cowboys would add a field goal. Now Harlandale breaks this one open. Another touchdown pass, this time to Armando Munoz. The final from Harlandale Memorial Stadium. The Indians win big 49-3. Somerset student section always having fun. The Bulldogs are home taking on the Fredericksburg Batman Billies. Hello, yeah, we see you all. Second quarter, the home side is down 3-0 when they get on the board. Quarterback Caleb Flores throws downfield to a wide open Malachi Iverson for a sweet toss and catch, 42 yards, and the Bulldogs go on top 7-3. I mean, that's the way you do it, right? After a slow start, the Dogs finally got it going in this 14-4A1 matchup, and Somerset goes on to win it 17-10. Let's go to South Stand High School, where the Bobcats are hosting the Eagle Paso Mavericks. The Bobcats are down 6-0 when they find the end zone. Anthony Mata throws to Isaiah Hines for a bobbling catch and touchdown as the Bobcats go on top 7-6. Time to celebrate. Let's cue up another South Stand touchdown. Mata throws this time right at us, And Noah Mendez reels it in for a touchdown as the Bobcats lead at 14-6, and South San is leading right now in the fourth, 17-16. Let's head over to Alamo Stadium for the Lanier Vokes and the Burbank Bulldogs, who entered the night 2 and number 4 in District 12, 5A2. First quarter, after a long run, the Bulldogs score first. Running back Edward Rodriguez runs left. He gets into the end zone with the defender hanging all over him. Burbank leads 7-0. The Vokes come back. QB Dylan Yamas is back to pass, and he goes deep to Brian Sanchez, who catches the ball and scores a 57-yarder. PAT was no good. Lanier trailed 7-6, and Burbank goes on to win it 49-18. Let's take you to Ferreira Field. The Antonian Apaches hosting the Central Catholic Buttons. It was 17-0 Antonian at half. Third quarter, Central's Matthew McClennan fires a 10-yard pass to Camilo Reyes Campos to put them on the board. Apaches respond. Rogan Parson has pretty pass to the end zone to Kane Stover for a 15-yard touchdown. Your final is Antonian wins it 53-21. We've still got the BGC road trip and more scores to go. But first, let's listen to the Brandeis High School Band. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's time now for the two-game big game coverage road trip. Photog Adam Barasa made stops in Lavernia and Stockdale tonight. The Lavernia Drumline getting the crowd ready for their game tonight, hosting El Campo. It was the Ricebirds who would score first at midfield. Quick throw to junior wide receiver Andy Russell, and he's off a 50-yard catch and run. It's 7-0 visitors. Next Ricebirds drive, junior running back Vladimir Garcia scores from a yard out. It was 14-0 El Campo when we departed. Let's take you inside the concession stand of Bobby Russell Field. It's Nixon Smiley at Stockdale tonight for our second stop. Third quarter, Nixon Smiley up 7 when Stockdale's junior quarterback Coy Gann keeps himself, fakes out Cameron Barraza. Happens to the best of us, bro, and Coy takes this to the house for a 62-yard touchdown run, and we are tied at 23-all. Next Stockdale possession, Coy Gann does it again. The QB keeper and a touchdown after a hard hit at the goal line. Extra point was no good. Stockdale was leading 29-23 when we left. Let's check out those finals for you. And Lavernia wins it by a final of 25-21. And Stockdale beats Nixon Smiley 42-30. How about some more scores tonight with some ranked teams? San Marcos beats New Braunfels Canyon 20-0. Judson defeats Clemens 31-28. Close game there. You have Kerrville Tivy falling to Bernie tonight, 62-35. Southwest beat Laredo Seguroas 37-6. We've got two more scores. It's Poth over Dilley 42-7. Bandera shuts out Carrizo Springs 38-0. We've got Somerset over Fredericksburg 17-10. Kennedy beats Weimer 41-14. That's the Kennedy with one N. Blanco defeats Comfort 45-28. Lytle falls to Jordanton tonight 55-34. We've also got Hondo over Poteet 58-22. Canyon Lake beating Pleasanton 17-13. And Llano defeats Ingram Moore 34-14. Game day for the Spurs hosting the Rockets, a group play match for the NBA Cup. Check out that court, and look who's visiting from Austin. UT QB Arch Manning in the house. First quarter, watch Wemby make his way to the paint, to the basket. He only had 4 points at halftime. Then it's Keldon Johnson, the strong drive off the glass. He had 6 points off the bench tonight. Then it's Kevin Durant. Turnaround is good. He had 9 in the first 2 quarters. The Spurs led by 1 at halftime. And in the end, the Spurs score 70 after the break to win 121-110. After the game, Wemby talked about how the Rockets defense changed in the second half.
The lineups changed. And it felt like they wanted to score a little more, so they put more offensive players. So I think their individual defense maybe got diminished because of that. So it was a little more open.
The Spurs will next host the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow night at 7 at the Frostbank Center. And the Spurs told us that point guard De'Aaron Fox will make his season debut tomorrow night. He's been out while coming back from an offseason hamstring injury. The Spurs are getting back to full strength, Stephania.
All good. Just all good things up ahead for them.
Exactly.
And we'll be right back after this.